Hello and welcome to my channel, Health and Wellness with Emma Mental. It is Monday, the 30th of December 2024, and today is a new moon and the second last day of this year. So I thought I would come to you with just some of my 2024 wisdom, insights, and some of the things that I felt were helpful to me during this year as part of my journey, and I'm sure many of you would relate and feel the same. So to start off with, a new moon is always a great opportunity to use for intentions. How would you like to feel? What would you like to invite in more? And to encourage you to get really creative with that, to really make a list this evening or today, wherever you are, and to bring that sort of into your awareness and into your energy field, as if these things or these intentions or these dreams were already true. Don't think of these as goals or resolutions, more just as invitations. Invitations feel far more hopeful and exciting and not as harsh as goals. So use this full moon to visualize your next month, January of 2025, as perhaps a blueprint for what it is that you would like to create more of next year, 2025. For me, 2024 was a really exciting but also a very hard year, and I wrote down 10 sort of insights and wisdoms that I would like to share with you, things that I feel could be supportive and helpful on your health and healing journey, regardless of where you are at and where you are starting. So the first point is self-awareness, self-inquiry, being aware of how your body feels with certain foods, with certain habits, in certain company, things that you are doing, and to remember that self-love is key. Self-love and self-care can often be interpreted as going for a massage or taking yourself out to shop. For me, it's something much broader than that, something much more inward focused. Self-love implies that we become gentle and kind with our own journeys, with those things that feel hard, with the challenges that we face, and also with some of the habits that we are trying to give up. So find where your awareness feels into something that feels easy and supportive. The second point that I feel is really important and vital is that healing takes time. Regardless of where you are starting, regardless of a diagnosis that you might be facing, or if you are just trying to overcome certain habits like overeating or not exercising or not taking care of yourself. It doesn't happen overnight. Consistency is key. Commitment to this process is important. And healing is also not linear. So there will be times that you might feel that things are going backwards or that you might not be making progress. And it's always good to reflect back on how far you've come, and especially now at the end of 2024, to look at and acknowledge and to celebrate how far you have come. The third point for me is an important one, and that is that vulnerability is key. Vulnerability is actually a superpower. If you have followed the work of Brené Brown, you will know that a lot of her teaching is around vulnerability. A vulnerability is a strength. Asking for help is a strength. It takes courage to show up for yourself with vulnerability, not feeling ashamed when things feel hard or when you feel that things should be better or should be different. When you are feeling discouraged or experiencing emotions such as grief, it is important that you allow that and that you don't judge that as a weakness. A good friend of mine years ago mentioned the idea of having wise counsel, and I've always remembered that. Wise counsel in the sense of that they are experts in all kinds of fields. You might know a friend or a colleague who is especially wise with finances. You might have a friend or someone you know, a family member, who's very good as a counselor. You might know somebody who is very good when it comes to doing maintenance around the home. Somebody who's an expert in gardening. Somebody who's just very good at giving you feedback about yourself and who can be a mirror in a very loving way. So choose your wise counsel in all the different life areas and ask for help. Use that support as part of your self-growth for the next year. The fourth point is not always an easy one, and that is that forgiveness is really important. Forgiveness, especially when it comes to forgiving yourself. And I find that often in my practice with clients that people really struggle to forgive themselves for something they feel that they have done wrong or that they are doing wrong. And they hold on to this unforgiveness towards themselves. And I feel that that really hampers our healing journey. If there are people that you have to release or apologize to, do that, but not with shame, not with regret or with guilt, just with real vulnerability, just with real transparency and openness and being really raw. And that can also feel very liberating and set you free. But choose on this new moon self-forgiveness as an essential part of your healing journey, and see if you can practice more of that in 2025. The next point is about imperfections. So many people that I deal with on a regular basis have such strong qualities, and they don't allow for imperfections. And this can be really harsh and hard when you are trying to overcome certain things, or when you are trying to heal from something, even when it comes to digestive health or a certain kind of condition that you are trying to fight. Find that place where you have very harsh expectations of yourself and allow for that human element. Know that it's real. Acknowledge where you are really trying your best, and don't belittle that. Don't diminish that because you think that that's not good enough. We are all on big journeys. We are all dealing with a whole lot of things a lot of the time. And where we can find some kindness around our efforts, it will really make things easier for you. Connection. Find connection. Find a community. Find people that can be part of your circle and your tribe. You don't have to always do it alone, even though that is empowering in some places of your healing journey. But connection can be very supportive. It can be something that you can rely on, and something that will help you on the journey, especially when you start to feel isolated or alone. The seventh point, number 7, is to find your own path. We learn a lot from those around us. We learn a lot from podcasts and books that we read. And for me, at my age, I'm 58 now, there's so many references that I can look back on. But make it your own journey. Choose your own path, something that you know is part of your destiny or your destination. Choose things because they feel joyful to you, not because it pleases someone else. Then the 8th point is that life is a work in progress. And I do compare it to a journey. We have a starting point, and then we have an intended end point. But life, like healing, is always a work in progress, and we can build on each year, we can build on each lesson, we can build on the wisdom and the insights that we find along the way. Don't be discouraged if you feel that you're not there yet. Acknowledge each step, take it in, pause, reflect, and use these markers on your journey to also reflect on how far you've come and where you still want to go, or if you in fact still want to go to that place that you originally had in mind. So imagine that as a trip or a journey that you're taking. You can, of course, change your mind. You can change direction. You can go the other way. You can go on the road less traveled. You can go the scenic way, or you can go on the highway. It's a work in progress. And whether it's about health or healing, something to do with trauma, something to do with a relationship, it is a work in progress. We are here in a human body having so many different experiences. And I think that we should celebrate small things more. We should celebrate small achievements, small wins. When it comes to small wins, I always remind my clients or my fasting course participants about celebrating the small wins. Don't just look at what you think should be perfect or the fact that it's not quite right yet. Life is a work in progress. Lean into difficult things. Lean into where you feel resistance. And another one of my sayings when it comes to healing or fasting especially is that where you meet resistance, there exists an opportunity for breakthrough. So that is sometimes where we have to really just persist and trust the process. The 9th point, and something that probably should be almost number 1, something I've learned also from important teachers and coaches in my life, and something that I mention a lot to my clients and to participants on my courses. Joy is an essential nutrient. Just like breathing, just like water, just like sunshine. Joy is one of those states. It's not just an emotion. And joy is an essential nutrient. And find the activities, find the experiences that help you to experience joy, and include those daily or regularly, include those often, as if it's an essential nutrient for you, regardless of where you are at on your health or healing journey. Find the things that make you feel connected to something bigger, that make you feel light and at ease. So joy also is not the same as happiness. There's a difference. Happiness is definitely a feeling, and that's good. But joy is a state and a vibrational quality that I feel will really help to uplift your cells, your tissues, and every part of you, especially when you're struggling with a condition or with a diagnosis that feels difficult. Then the last one for me is fasting. Fasting, fasting, fasting. If you have watched my channel, you will know that I use fasting for so many reasons. Yes, for somebody who might be insulin resistant, struggling with inflammation, struggling to make things better when it comes to metabolic disease. But fasting can really help you on a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level to feel more clarity, to feel better energy, to reset at times, especially during this festive season when it's so easy to indulge and eat those things, and even I do. There's just so much temptation out there. But I find that fasting has been one of the most valuable healing tools for me. You will know that I had a big struggle with clearing up psoriasis for 3.5 years. And with a combination of different tools, but mainly doing longer fasts and regular fasts, I managed to clear it completely. And that for me was my miracle. But I don't just use fasting as a health tool. I use it as an essential tool for me to just come back to myself, especially when I feel scattered or disconnected, or when I need clarity about something, when I'm struggling perhaps with certain emotions, or when I feel stuck spiritually and I just want to find that deeper connection or reconnect to those things that are vital for my well-being. So have a look at some of my posts about fasting on my channel. If you have a look on my social media as well, you will see that my courses run regularly, 6 weeks or more. I have refresher courses. And with fasting, community can be so important to not feel alone. And fasting for me is not about deprivation. Someone I know well often refers to it as starvation, and for me it's the complete opposite of that. I feel so deeply nourished during my fasts, and I become very intentional about each fast. And so I will be doing a reset fast from Sunday evening. I will facilitate a small group, and you can find more information about that as well on my social media. And using a 24 or 36 or 48 hour, perhaps a 72 hour or longer fast as a reset, as stepping into 2025 with great clarity and better energy, and really tuning in to your body. Fasting for me has also been one of those things where I have learned to thank my body. And it's something that I do every night, every day, and as often as I can during a fast. I thank you, body, for carrying me so well. I thank you, body, for doing this with such ease, for being so graceful. The things that we forget to do, and perhaps that should be the 11th point, and maybe it should fall in with self-awareness, the first point. Thank your body often. Really thank him or her for traveling and journeying with you. regardless of how easy or hard your health condition or your healing journey might be at this stage. I know a lot of people are dealing with a lot at this stage, and I realize that it can be very hard to find these glimmers of hope. But I hope that this video will be inspirational for you for this new moon, and that you have learned something that you might be able to use or implement for, if not just January of 2025, but also the rest of next year. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your subscriptions and your comments. And I really want to thank all of you who have been following my journey here on YouTube, and for your kind comments often about the content. I know that I haven't been on here for quite a while. There's been a great silence from these videos, but today is the day. It's the new moon. It is an ending and a new beginning. I don't think of new year, new me as a thing necessarily. I love that I get to take parts of me into the new year that I have learned from, that I can build on the wisdom and the experiences. Yes, there are always things that we can leave behind if it feels heavy, if it becomes a burden, a relationship or a habit that doesn't feel supportive of your health. We can leave that behind. But it's new year, and it's actually the old me that I take into that, and I welcome in the new experiences that will be there and available for me. Infinite potential, so much to look forward to. So I wish you a magical new moon with beautiful blessings, and I hope your intentions feel supportive for you, and may you end this year 2024 feeling incredibly grateful for everything that you've learned during the year. And I wish you health and abundant blessings, and I will see you soon.